Yo, Haas, my man. How we doing, brother?
I'm doing great. My hair's a little messy. I can see the cowlick on this side, but it's been now that I look at it, it's been bugging me.
I get like that too. I did a video where I had my collar like flipped over or something the whole time, and that's the only thing I can see is like my collar flipped over. I'm like, why did I
Yeah,
flip that
like
thing back?
damn it,
But who cares, dude? Like, it's
ah,
just let go to
unacceptable,
perfectionism. Let go to
unacceptable, man.
perfectionism. Um, man, I
We're
want to hear like how your
professionals.
week's going, how the weekend was. I think you went
Yeah,
out and did pretty good
man.
too. We had the breathwork event. That was dope. What do you think of the breathwork event, man? How was that?
It was good, man. It was really good. It started me to go into more energetic work, and that's
Mm,
actually what I've been doing this week. Actually, a lot of energy work, a lot of
great.
like. I know people don't like that stuff.
A lot of people
I know
love that
people.
stuff.
But I know a lot of people get turned off by these kinds of words like hippie shit, like oh, it's energy work. No, but I've been doing a lot of it this week because yeah, man, I've been getting dragged down to like low vibes recently. Just
Mm,
like I'm just going through it this month,
mhm,
and
mhm.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna act from reaction and like do things that I'm gonna regret and like make decisions out of like fear and desperation. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of like energetic work, you know, um, listen to our mutual mentor. I'm not gonna say his name. I don't think he wants his name out there like that. Blah blah blah. But yeah, I've been looking at a lot of his video content and looking 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 through the energetic work that he's been doing. A lot of marketing stuff as well. So I've been doing this thing like learning a lot about marketing and influencing, which has kind of been like depressing the shit out of me because I'm just like, what is this all there is to it? It makes you want to believe in like a higher creator because there's got to be one, right? When you start practicing or learning about marketing and learning about influencing, and like you just like your soul just starts to go, what?
Mhm.
So I've been getting a lot like I've been getting not depressed. Depression is not the right word. I don't get depressed. I've been kind of just getting down by that, and then I'm like, okay, at the same time, need to work on my energy body. It's like a lot of like pain body attacks. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been learning a lot about this energetic work and a lot about marketing, and that's been my week. How's your week?
Good, man. Yeah. And for anybody who doesn't know, I do this breathwork modality I learned it through my own heavy trauma experiences where I was just kind of like barricaded by trauma and couldn't think clearly and just felt lost and I needed solutions. And meditation led me into awareness around the breath. And then in researching the breath, I learned that there's actually like breathwork practices that you can do in a certain way, like these deep breathing uh, practices that you can do to kind of bring up trauma and heal yourself and get a lot of awareness, which again might sound weird if you haven't done anything like that, but it's very real and it sounded weird to me at some point too. And and so I ended up creating like these ceremonies, and I hadn't done one in a while. This was my first one back in Reno, and it was sick,
Yeah,
man. It was really
awesome.
really cool. Yeah, it was cool. Good location, good vibes. People seemed to really get a lot out of it. I got something out of it, a lot out of it. Felt lighter afterwards. And to your point, it's real. Like even me this week, there's been a few things I'm just kind of like, I'll just remind myself, like, keep your energy light. You know what I mean? Like, keep your energy light. Like, and it just comes like hanging on to maybe certain narratives or stories or emotions, or maybe we're wishing ill will towards someone, or like you can kind of watch yourself. It's like an addiction, dude. Like being drawn towards these
Yes.
low vibe thoughts, ways of being, activities, all of it, dude. And
Mm.
when you're going through a challenging time, it seems like that addiction increases. It's like, yeah, grab me. And it's like, you can't, bro. I can't. I don't want to think that
Yeah.
way. I don't want to act that way. I don't want to wish that way, whatever, you know?
Yeah, dude, it's funny you say that because last night I was going through the material, right? And then there's a section where you need to do like a spiritual audit, like energetic audit.
Mhm.
Basically, look to see where you're getting energy from, what's giving you energy. So, like things like gossip, shit talk, trash talking about others, like these are the lower forms of like where people get energy from. You know, obviously myself included. Like there's days where I'm like low vibration and I just love talking shit. You know, right? But I just like, but like I try to be like, but I try to make it into a funny thing so that I get out of it. Because if I
Yeah,
if I start to really talk shit and like get serious and like really take it seriously, then I get dragged, dude. It's like my
yeah,
life fucking falls apart. But I do this thing where like I have negative feelings about something and I don't express it. I want to express it
mhm,
in a way where it leaves me and I want to move up. That's why I try to make it into a joke. So I try to laugh around it, you know? So like I'll say things like, oh yeah, I was talking shit. Yeah, fuck them. But then it's like, fuck me too. Ha ha ha. Nothing's
mhm,
serious. Like I don't take myself seriously. So then it takes away the charge for me at least. And that's what I've been doing. And it's like, dude, if I didn't know this type of work, bro, this is where people just go down the fucking
yeah,
spiral. I know
yeah,
motherfuckers that started doing hard drugs, like
mhm,
personally.
mhm,
It's funny because I was making a video about this before this video. We started this, I was talking about an experience where I've seen people um, that are family friends, like people that I know, they're friends with their family, whatever. They just go down the fucking spiral, bro, and they start stealing the most dumb. Like I've had it where I was working at the place, right, and the guy would come steal buckets, like a plastic bucket. It's like, dude, if you wanted $5, you're friends with the family, just ask. You know,
mhm,
like, can I have
mhm.
the bucket back? I need the bucket. Like I need to clean them off. It's like, can I have the bucket back? And then on another time, it was like a freaking like those mini ladders. Like the dude borrowed the mini ladder, and I knew it wasn't gonna come back. So the other guy, the other worker, was like, "Oh, it's just a family friend. Whatever, you can take it." Never saw that ladder again. You know, and I'm
Mhm.
sure he got a decent price out of the ladder. But like, I say all that to say is like that dude was a normal guy. He was just like me. He was probably funnier than me. He was more, dude. People still ask for that guy where I was working. People still go like, "Hey, is that guy there?" I'm like,
Mhm.
"Who? That guy? He hasn't been working for it 10 years now." And yeah, he was so funny. He was so energetic. Like even like pretty girls would come in and ask that guy. Like women
Damn.
that are like 10 points above this dude. You know, this dude is just like not even that good. He's like shorter than me. It's just like
Mhm.
crazy. And then this motherfucker, bro, he's just so charismatic, but regular guy just got dragged down, and it starts with some energetic thing. Honestly,
And think about that, bro. That's very real. Like you start going in these downward spirals, and it seems you're lost. You're like, how do I get out? Nothing seems to be working. And when you're in that downward energy, it's very hard to do the things that actually do help. It's hard to go socialize. It's hard to go work out. It's hard to help other people. These are all things that actually lift you up and get you out of there, but it's hard. Like we've all been there. And
yeah,
quick way to do it is through substance, right? But it's like a liar, dude. It's a thief. On the front
yeah,
end, it's like, oh man, it feels so good to have a couple drinks or smoke a little bit or do something else, right? But on the back end, that shit wrecks you even harder. And but now you're in like this loop where you just keep kind of redoing that. I'm trying to get that feeling I had again, where I did actually feel good. It did get me out of it, and that's why
yeah,
a lot of the solution to get out of a shitty situation is to quote raise your vibe, but you raise your vibe by like getting really aware of the things that make you feel better, that make your mind open up,
yes,
make your heart open up. Like yeah, like it's laughter is a good example actually, right? Or
yeah,
helping
yeah.
another person, right? Or just picking up the phone, hey, I wonder if so and so needs something, or how
Mhm.
they're dealing with this. Creating
And
something that you can gift to the world. Like I did the breathwork event and I led it, but I felt amazing afterwards because it was like a gift to my
gift
community,
you're giving.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna plug the breath work. I'm like, I am the breath work.
Mm,
I was like,
nice,
I'm the
thanks,
breath
bro.
work,
Yeah,
and
real.
yeah, it's healing work, man, trauma
Yeah,
work, dude.
yeah,
Uh, People don't value those things because now it's become a shtick in social media. Oh, my
yeah,
trauma and like people just like it's like another thing that they can just use to talk about themselves.
yeah,
Oh, me and my trauma, me.
mm,
So people are just like, oh, here we go, bro. That's
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Just blends
you,
into all the other
it's
random things
become a yeah,
buying. Yep,
yeah,
manifesting, and it's just
yeah. It's
another.
become that now. So
Yeah,
now you're just like, but the thing is, now people are gonna throw the baby with the bathwater. So it's
totally.
like,
They'll
it's
lump it in
valid.
with like the spiritual soul retrieval crowd and tarot
Yeah,
cards, and
yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
yeah, man. Um, yeah. So I,
That's
I,
great.
I
Mhm,
definitely believe in that stuff though, like
mhm,
energetic work, because it's easy to be skeptical, right? But then you
mhm,
see that shit, dude. Like I've seen that shit. Like I've had seeds planted in my mind, like from the mentors I listened to, like 7 years ago, not 10. I was gonna say 10, but 7 years ago, they will say things like that,
mhm,
and and you just start to see it unfold in front of you, and you kind of take a mental note of it. I'm not like sold on it, like totally, like, oh yeah, that's totally the right,
yeah, yeah,
I'm not like, I'm not like totally sold on it because a mentor told me. No, I'm just
mhm,
like, I just took a note of it. I'm like, whoa, this is happening right now. And then you were talking about, like, when you're in that vibe, in that low vibe, it's like you want to seek pleasure, and it's like very physical. You're always seeking physical pleasure, you know, because what the physical pleasure does is it's almost like it gives you this like dirty high,
mhm,
this dirty high
mhm,
that it doesn't last. It doesn't last. It's kind of like this, like the I talk about this because the whippets, right? I used to
mhm.
sell whippets, and I
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
work at
that's
the
right.
shop, right?
Yeah, I
Whippets,
remember
bro.
seeing those.
And I would joke with the customers. I'm like, dude, why are you doing whippets? It's like the worst form of drug. You might as well do heroin, because at least with the heroin, you know what you're signing up for, right? You know what you're signing up for, and the high lasts for days, and like, or whatever. I've never done heroin. I don't know, but they get a better high from it. Clearly, they're out in the streets selling, like stealing ladders and buckets or something, So you might as well go fucking gangster if you're gonna start doing shit like that. Because the whip it, bro, it's like a 4 second, 4 or 5 second high. Like the male orgasm lasts longer than that. You know, like it's
Yeah.
better. you know, it's like
Mhm,
this. and 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 bro, like I've been just looking at that a lot recently because um people close to me, like personally,
mhm,
that have like they're very successful, that literally commit off themselves. You know,
mhm,
you know what I'm talking about. So
mhm,
um and I look at that story, and then I also look at other people that are like, like Tony Shea from Zappos, like
mhm. Yeah.
2020. I look at things like that. That dude was doing whippets, bro. That's why I'm like, what the hell? Like the last picture of him is on his bed with like a bunch of whippets. He's like doing like a thing of whippet. Yeah, and I'm like, whoa, the dude has all of it. He has everything I want, billions of dollars or whatever, right? And like, he's just in this physical world. He just wants physical pleasure. And I see this with like, you know, close friend of mine as well. Like a lot of people, like they don't have like they're disconnected. They're disconnected to the spirit, and they're just chasing physical pleasure. I do too. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, dude, trust me. But again, it's just like awareness.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot of people, the reason they want something like that is because even though it's 4 or 5 seconds, it brings them to the present moment. And it's the only time they can really get clarity in the present moment. And so that's real. Like there's so much chaos in their mind that they're hijacked essentially. And so looking for even quick releases, even someone who's like addicted to sex, it's very similar actually, because it brings them to the present moment and they get addicted to it. And so then the solution then is to find like organic ways to get present to the moment. And for someone starting out, right, it'd be like silly to be like, you got to start meditating, because there's all they're going to hear is more chaos. um Actually, someone I really read a lot was Osho at one point in my life, and Osho has some really cool meditations. He has a book of, like,
Mhm.
regardless of what you think of Osho, he has a book of like 56 or 76 meditations or something. And he talked about how you can't just drop into meditation if you've never meditated, but you can do things like expend a bunch of energy, run, jump up and down, and then stop and get quiet. And it gives you like a little instance into meditation, into stillness. Or like go exercise, get out in nature, get out in the mountains, like touch a tree. Like, actually, that sounds, be a tree hugger, but like literally, like put your hands on the tree and you start to realize how present and grounded the tree is. These are things that are already in nature, already grounded to the moment. And, this Friday I went for a hike. I was feeling like I was just kind of in my head a little bit, just kind of, I can feel when that energy's coming, a little cloudy. And I went to the mountain, dude, and just went for a hike, and it felt amazing and just got a lot of clarity. And it's important that we have these kinds of tools and create more awareness around when we lose ourselves in these behaviors that ultimately aren't healthy for us. Oh, did we lose you, Haas?
Yeah, dude. Having some
There you go.
technical difficulties. We do this live, guys.
Yeah, man.
So
You work it out.
we do it live. We do it live.
Someone hopped
So,
online at your house or something, your cave.
yep. Yes, I'm in my cave right now, just making sure my connection's all good. Bro, they've been screwing with my shit, bro. This started yesterday when I was on another call, but there we go. Fuck me.
You're good.
All right. Great. We're professionals. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Yeah, totally agree. Like there's you it do need an organic way of getting out of that, because ultimately you want the fulfillment, or at least for me, I'm trying to get fulfillment from within, right?
Mhm.
Because whatever fulfillment you get from the external
Yes,
doesn't last, man.
that's
It doesn't
right.
last. If it gives you that, it can take it away, you know, and that's very common. Like I've seen that. There's people I know that you help them get something, for example, right? Like you help them achieve a goal. And for me, it was like in the dating world, right? You help them get like a goal or whatever. And it's like, you'll know the ones that are appreciative of it. And you'll know the ones that it's like, it's never enough. It's never enough. And they're just addicted. They don't know when to say no. They don't know when to quit. They're just so stuck physical.
Mhm.
Um, they don't see the bigger picture because they just want that physical need met right now. They don't know how to set boundaries. They'll like they'll destroy the entire vision of like the team, let's just say, right? For like a physical pleasure,
Mhm.
you know? And they're
Huge.
very in their heads and they think they're like you're trying to trick them and all this shit. You're like, no, man, you're being distracted by this like temporary physical thing that isn't gonna last, and it doesn't last. And you'll see them come out of that, and then they'll hit you up after it. Like, oh no, like, dude, you're a junkie, man. You're not
Yeah,
doing heroin, but you're doing
right.
something else. You're a
Mhm.
junkie, you
That's
know.
right.
So
Yeah, I'm not.
you,
Yeah, that's beautiful, bro. That's a really, really powerful thing you said about you're looking to become internally validated. Like you are the source of your own happiness, your own fulfillment. And dude, so many guys get lost in looking for it outside of themselves, people in general. But one of the areas, right, is going to be relationships. And it's good, it's important to date, it's important to have relationships, but you need
yes,
this awareness that Hazar and I are sharing right now. You need this awareness that you're going to meet the woman, meet the girl, and she's going to leave you. You're going to meet another one, and she's going to leave you. You're going to meet another one, and she's going to leave you. And if you have awareness, what you'll realize is it's forcing you to go internal, to look at yourself as the source of validation. And that then is a gift. And that makes you your source. Like you become the power. You become strong as a person. And then what that does ultimately is that creates what we'd call a frame. Because you realize that you are like the internal, you're it. You got it all. You don't need anything outside of yourself. And when you're looking outside of yourself, you're easy to manipulate. You give away a ton of your energy. Your purpose is not, it's difficult to fulfill. You can't be a man on a mission. So it forces you to come back into yourself. And that's the power of going through relationships. But you have to, at some point, understand that, have that awareness that you are always the source of your own happiness. She's just part of it. They add to the journey. And some are there for a short period of time, some are there for a long period of time, some are even longer. It doesn't matter. But the goal is it's all bringing you back into yourself. And when I say into yourself, that's also God.
right, yeah, yeah. I'm
Power.
not like super religious, and I know like a lot of people have a lot of you know emotions around religions, so you can you can call it whatever, like higher being or whatever, yeah, whatever you're into. But there really is something, like, especially when you learn marketing, bro. Like when you learn marketing, you'll start to you'll start to see like you'll start to see things like that. Where like you'll see the downward spiral, and the only way to really get out of it is to like connect with that higher being, that I call it, you know, um, call it what you need to call it. But there is something like that. There is something that you need to connect with. There needs to be a higher thing for you to like put your energetic self together. I'm looking at my connection while we're doing this. That's why. So looking down. Um, yeah, man, I agree with that, because I think like the word God is like a loaded term these days. People can get story,
But look, I get that. But
but
even that,
there I feel like
oh, you're good. Oh,
mhm,
you're
yeah.
getting choppy there.
Okay, we do this live, guys. I'm reporting from my Bin Laden cave.
But that's a good example of frame right there. Is you when you go through the fire, right? And that can be a relationship, it can be business does that to you. Life will do that to you. Is if you allow it to bring you back to yourself, that's again, that's what it means to like create a frame, like a sense of reality. And that's ultimately what someone is buying into when they go into a relationship with you. So later on, if you're allowing it to develop who you are, to understand your relationship with God, it's like there's a congruency and a truth, like an authenticity to you, because you've traveled the path, you've been there, and it makes it easier for someone to follow and buy into your frame, and ultimately easier for you to navigate your way through the world. And it shows up in business with your employees in leadership, right? Or work, professional world. If you have a strong frame, a strong sense of reality, you've come into yourself, you're your own source of internal validation, you're not looking to it outside of yourself, you will be a strong leader. You won't be easy to manipulate. If you're in relationship and you've done the same thing, you'll be easy to lead in the relationship and support somebody. They'll be comfortable following you. If life does the same thing, because life is going to present you with challenges, but if you've created that same sense of reality through life, you'll navigate life's challenges along the way. And so it's super important to always bring it back to you. And oftentimes, unfortunately, it's the pain, it's the loss, it's the struggle that forces us back into ourselves. But that's the key. Is we started this with saying you're going to feel like you want to run to all these distractions. Was that you going back into yourself? No, it's like you going further away from yourself. Well, now I need the drugs. Now I need the escape. Now I need whatever it is, right? But the ultimate goal is to come back into yourself. That's what it is. And then it becomes a gift. All the pain then has a purpose to it.
Yeah, man.
That's what you're looking for.
100%. What it's like the quote, like what you gain in the physical, you lose in the spiritual. Um, you when you start to gain, like you'll see this, like people that they have like this amazing rise, like they will get a lot of money or they'll build something, they'll get this amazing like upward momentum to a lot of material, a lot of like physical things. And it's just like it's almost like their energy wasn't ready for the success that they were going to achieve, right?
For sure. Mm-hmm.
It's like they weren't energetically ready for the amount of things that they were going to receive. And so you'll see this like with child actors, the classic story, like, oh, a kid grew rich and now he does drugs, right? Or like the other one that I can think about was like there's a TikTok guy, or no, this was like I think it was TikTok actually, or this was like Vine, I forget, but this guy who would make like videos and he like blew up is Kid Jinkin, I think is his name. But the dude killed his wife and the guy that she was like hooking up with. And you can kind of see, like, you can tell this dude who like got all this success, he was just heavy in his work. He was just working. He was getting in that like very stiff, logical, uncharismatic mode where he's just trying to build, like trying to just gain more material. he was probably doing it for his girl, but the girl lost attraction to him because he was in that tight, logical mode where he's tuned to the world, into the physical. He was no longer connected to the flow, the higher being. So the woman ends up, saying, "Hey, I don't want to be with you. I found someone else." And then this dude like goes crazy. He like puts iPads and shit in her room, and like in his like daughter's iPad, like voice recorder and stuff. And like one day goes in there and just shoots both of them, kills them. Now he's in jail forever, you know. And then this is a guy who blew up like on social media, millions of views, really, really popular. I started making like videos around like video game stuff and doing like funny voice acting things. Yeah, the guy ended up just taking someone's life, taking two people's life. Now he's in jail because he wasn't ready for that. I mean, it could be like, oh yeah, the spouse was the reason, but you get into that physical world of more and more and more, you lose touch with like things around you. I bet you that dude, he lost touch with like his girl, his woman next to him, who later left him because he was just in that physical world of wanting more and more and more. And it's like it's never enough. You're never satiated. You
That's
get
one
to
of
a
the
point. Mhm.
that's one of the problems with Adderall
Oh
is
yeah,
I'm sure there's look, medical stuff if you're using it, and just you need it for a reason, then there's probably a purpose to it. But in general, people who don't, they use it as like a accelerator towards success. But what it does is it forces success in what reality? The physical reality. And then you often start to get it, right? You get better results, more success, but it like condenses your world around the physical reality, and your soul gets left behind in a way, or disconnected, separated. And it's very
yeah.
dangerous. And then people like that, yeah, they end up collapsing. And it's usually relationships or something else they fucked up and they're not even aware of it.
You
They just
know
get
the best
lost.
the best example for people that don't connect to what we're saying, like the weird energetic stuff. The best example you can think about is like when you like eat a lot of like fast food and then you eat a carrot after, you can't taste the carrot. It's like there's no flavor in the carrot. It's like you're chewing on rubber, like this like watery rubber. You're like, what am I eating? You know, like if you're just eating McDonald's every day and then you try a carrot, you're not gonna taste the rich flavor in the carrot, right? You don't have a palate to taste the flavors of the carrot. And it's like that with like life, right? Because what you do is you oversaturate your taste buds with the junk food to where it doesn't appreciate the simple things like a damn carrot. Same thing with life. You've just stimulated yourself. That's what a heroin does. It's plugged in so much dopamine in your system to where regular normal things that should feel good, sunlight on your skin should feel good. It doesn't feel good because you've experienced the highest of the high. Like there's pleasures out there in this planet that I or you, Troy, will never experience, and we shouldn't experience those things because they're just gonna fry our fucking brains. Like we're gonna
Bro,
be like,
but
yeah,
look, dude, let me bring this into fucking reality.
mm-hmm,
Is it's not just that, it's
mm,
pornography, social
sure,
media consumption, anything overly stimulating is the same thing, but it's kind of like alcohol. Like the problem with alcohol is we've made it culturally acceptable, but
mm,
alcohol is extremely, extremely toxic and extremely, extremely hard to get off of once you're addicted. And in fact, so much so that when people are addicted to it and they get off, it can actually kill them. So
yeah,
like it's that your body needs it that much. Super
yeah,
dangerous, but oh, it's just alcohol, right? We all fucking drink alcohol. It's the same with porn and social media, dude. Is like overconsumption of those things are stimulating all the dopamine, and they're just making you bland and like drawing out your energy, and you're losing your creative like resources. Like whatever
yeah.
happened to just jerking it to fucking your imagination? You know what I mean? Like when I was growing up, we didn't have any fucking internet or porn. It was like JC Penney's magazine was the best you got. You know what I mean? You might get a glimpse
Bro,
of a
you'd have to
bikini
like,
of a bra. You know what I mean? But it forced you to use your imagination, and but it keeps you sensitized to reality, bro. And that's why it's important to get away from your TV screens, your phones, get outside, connect to reality. We have to connect to reality. If not, we become a slave to that system. And it's an energetic system that drains your fucking power. And that's super important. No different than fast food. No different than you eating fast food every day.
Yeah, dude. You know what's crazy, bro? Like when you explain things this way, and you read a lot of the religious text, things start to like things start to spook you. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, whoa, is this actually happening? Because what you're saying, look, man, the future is just gonna get whatever's happening now. It's just gonna be more of that in 10x. You know, with AI and technology, like they're literally figuring out algorithms to keep you hooked on the digital media, right? And and I grew up in a religion where we do have like end time prophecies similar to Christianity, right? And in the end time prophecy, it would be like something like they call it the Dajjal. The Dajjal meaning like the basically the Antichrist of the our version of the Antichrist, right? But you know what's weird? I had this like thought. I'm like, Dajjal, digital, Dajjal, digital,
Whoa,
huh? You know, so I'm like,
whoa,
whoa. And like you hear like the Amish people, like it's like you try to like they don't use technology. They're like,
yeah.
Dave Chappelle had that joke. It's like, hey, you are you sure you don't want to ride, Ezekiel? I can travel miles. That's a day's journey for you, right? I can travel miles and hours. That's a day's journey for you. And he's like, no, you can't tempt me with the devil. Ye try to tempt me, you know. He has that joke, right? And I start thinking, I'm like, yo, bro, is technology, are we giving birth to like some sort of a demonic force? No,
What
I'm
do you mean
kidding.
giving? Yeah, too late. We already have, and
Yeah,
it's I don't know how you want to frame it. You know what I mean? But it is like a whether it's that or it's just low vibe energy or it's just a waste of fucking time or it's dopamine fucking up your brain and your
yeah.
focus. It's all very real. And when you think about it, like bro, like I challenge myself, you, anybody listening, like try not to check your social media tomorrow and watch how addicted you will be towards it. It'll literally like cause you pain not to do it. If you check it fairly
Mm,
frequently, it'll cause you physical pain. You'd be like, fuck, I need to do it. And then when you do it, you almost feel like a release. And that release is dopamine.
huh.
It's like, yes, I got the thing.
I got a
Wow.
question.
Hmm.
I got a question. What do you think they're addicted to in the social media, particularly? Look, I can see like girls being addicted to the amount of likes they get on Instagram. But like, what do you think are the differences between like a guy and a girl? Like, what are the two different things there? Because I don't think they're addicted to the same things in social media. Like,
Interesting. Yeah, I would agree. I'd say there's probably several different ones. One is just the stimulation of lights, things like that, like the fast pace transitions.
mm,
It's almost like a slot machine, how it moves quick, and or a video game, right? So it's naturally creates a
yeah,
little bit of dopamine.
yeah,
Hmm.
scrolling. Yep, yep.
Yeah, scrolling does. And I don't know, like you got to remember, your brain follows these little like images and even short videos. It follows it like a storyline, and it gets caught in these little, it's like all these 7-second movie
Mm,
clips, and that's doing something as well, right? It's like rather than watching a 2-hour movie where there's lows and highs, it's like you get it all in one thing. Oh, the guy has a basketball. What's he gonna do? Oh, it bounced off the guy's face. Oh, now they're fighting. And it's like the brain's getting all these different fucking networks shooting. You know what I mean? Oh, there's a girl with a huge ass. Oh, there's this. It's like, bro, you gotta like, guard your mind, right? Like for
mm,
reals, dude. And I always think of it like what really matters if you want to create the life. One of the things that's going to really matter is having deep focus. You have to be able to focus deeply and move towards your goals. And if you have that impulse to reach for social media or whatever it is, then you're losing focus point blank. And it gets stuck in kind of like your brain waves, and worried about what other people are doing. Bro, like I don't even give a fuck. I don't check what anyone else is doing. I don't fucking care because I'm worried about where I'm going, the direction that I'm creating. So there's no time to watch. There's no fucking time, right? And then I
mm,
think about it like in terms like pornography and stuff, like it gives you a false out, right? It's like it'd be like let's say you were a wrestler, right? And it's like you could watch something that made you feel like you got a gold medal on the podium, but it's fake and it's just real quick, right? It's like, oh, I got the gold medal, yay, that felt good. And so then you quit practicing, you quit training, you don't work as hard. But if like the only way to get on the podium is to fucking grind and work and go out and meet people, work on yourself, develop yourself, build an empire, be social, be loose along the way, learn how to create all this stuff that we talk about, then you're not going to fucking do that. You're going to be like, I want the real thing. You know what I mean? So I always remind myself, like, I want the real thing. Right.
Yeah, dude. Bro, it reminded me because okay, check this out. I have a theory, like people, we almost build our second life in our social media, right?
Mhm.
We live our life, we don't really live here in our real life. We start to
Mhm.
live in our social media. And and it's similar to like you remember when you were a kid, you want to go play outside and you
Mhm.
just can't wait to go outside.
Mhm.
I feel like it's the same thing. It's like instead of going outside, of course they get on social media, right? I remember like when I was a kid, my mom would like she was like a disciplinary, right? She was back home, me and my brother while my dad was in America. But back home, it's very dangerous for us to just walk around in like middle of like a third world country, whatever, right? So my mom wouldn't let us go play unless it's like evening time, right? And I would like sneak out of the house during like the noon, like afternoon, where
Mhm.
it's like sun lights out, it's hot as shit. You're not supposed to go out that time, right? It's not safe, right? So I would like escape the house. I would like climb on walls like fucking Spider-Man and shit. And like the lock is up at the very top, you know. I would like unlock the door and I would like run out of the house and I'd go out and play. And for me, that was as addicting as if not more than social media.
Mhm.
Like for me, it was addicting to go out and like run around with my friends. And like it was addicting for me to just go out and like do stuff outside, right?
Mhm.
Because there's just so much going on, like so
Mhm.
much energy. You
Mhm.
know, if you like if anyone's watching this, like Google like Bangladesh, Dhaka, just look at freaking energy in that crowd. You get stimulated through that energy. So I'd go outside, so much going on, bro. It's like it's like people moving, markets. There's like things happening here. There's like a thing happening there. It's like crazy. So for me, it was like equally stimulating, like
Mhm.
social media, like you were saying. So I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, are we building that in social media? Because for me, dude, I'm not really interested in like other people's lives per se to like keep up with. I'm more like addicted on like Twitter to like see like shit happening that are like for example like people that I follow like streamers
Mhm.
like there's like some streamers that I used to watch and I'm like, oh, what's going on over here, like as my own like my own guilty pleasure. I'd like look at like streamers and like their drama because it was like feeding me like
Mhm.
addiction. It wasn't like anybody like my personal life. I was like, oh, whatever, they're just doing their
Mhm.
thing, right? For me it was like I was like building a connection and building these internet friends like I would back home. Like, oh, time to go play, time to go be a bad boy and outside and like not listen to my mom. Oh, time to go do this thing in my phone, Twitter. Oh, look at this freaking Destiny talking shit about this person, blah blah blah. You
Well, it
know,
gives you a false sense of reality. That's the whole thing to remember. Is you feel like you're hanging out with somebody, but you're not
mm,
hanging out with anyone. You feel like,
perfect. Yeah,
bro, it's like when you're watching a movie in nature and maybe it's, I don't know, it's some cool and epic scenery and you're like, wow, yeah, and it's got the music going. You ain't there, homie, you ain't there. It's a TV screen. Like, go outside, get into nature, right? If you're watching the porn, go talk to the girls, right? Go work on it and push yourself. It'll force you to fucking like, damn it, like there's no easy way out, dog. You got to keep going. You got to get better. You got to work on self. What am I missing in my life? Where do I need to work on this? Like, bro, it's the same thing. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of it. It's like a lot of life, bro, is traps, and you got to watch for the traps,
yeah,
right? Looking for the traps. What a little thing that trips you up, and it's like they give you this false sense of like, oh, come over here and be so good, right? It's one of the things like I see with one of the things I admire about a woman is a woman who can stay single for an extended period of time, because it's typically fairly easy for them to get into a relationship or at least get sex, right? Tons of desperate dudes out there. And so a woman who actually is like, no, I'm going to work on myself. I don't want to be in a relationship, and can remain single for a while and like actually meet a quality guy, I have a ton of respect for. Same thing with dudes, right? But dudes, usually it's naturally a little bit harder oftentimes. But I have a lot of respect for that because it's such a comfort. It's like a woman could just, I just got this guy on the side or this guy on the side, which tons of them do, right? But if you can just be single and work on yourself, build yourself, you're doing exactly what we talked about earlier, is you're becoming the source of your own validation. You're becoming strong within. You're becoming interdependent. And then you can meet someone else who is exactly like that, who is also interdependent. And those make incredible relationships. But the reality is most people are fucking codependent. And so they're all running around looking for somebody. Make me feel better. Make me feel better. Is it you? Make me feel better. Motherfucker, that's your work. You got to be that. You got to do that work. And then when you solve it, you bring that energy out into the world. You just be who you are. Like I get like that sometimes. I'm like, bro, I don't even want no one because I'm fucking him. I'm doing my shit. I'm the dude. Like, ain't no one fucking this up. Ain't no one gonna trip me up. And most motherfuckers are already tripped up. They're giving away to all their other shit. You know what I mean? So I'm rolling. Right? It's facts, dude. And then I'm like, all right, maybe I meet someone like, all right, we'll see. What's up? We'll hang out for a little bit. See what's popping.
Motherfuckers giving the credit card away.
Hells to the nah, dude.
Oh
Hells
shit, my camera went off.
Bro, your camera's on the ground, fool.
Yeah.
It will say yeah.
Relax, too damn hard.
It will say yeah.
I kicked my camera off. Hey, this is how we do it live. This is how it's real.
There was a day the other week I was working on my laptop and I was leaning back and I must have just leaned at the right angle or something and I full fucking went backwards, dude. Boom, on the ground, laptop fell. I was like, oh shit. Oh, too bad I wasn't recording. That would have been epic. Would have been good thumbnail, dude.
It's fucking epic.
Yeah, but nah, don't be giving. And then that's again, but this is the other thing I was thinking about too. On that similar note, like, God, this is why it's important. This is one of the things we fucking talk about. This is why you motherfuckers got to build your empire. One of many reasons. And I'm guilty of this too. But like when you get your shit together as a dude, you're not like a 10 out of 10, you're a 20 out of 10. You're super rare, right? Understanding what you and I are talking about right now, working through these different energetic thought patterns and emotional patterns and trauma work. Who the fuck does that, right? Plus you're working on your life and your game and your house and all this shit. Like, bro, you become rare. And then motherfuckers will get twisted up over a girl who, when you think about it, what value is she bringing into your life other than her pussy? Right? And there's women who are amazing. There's some strong, powerful women out there. But some of them, that's all. They think that's it. They think they won because they got that. And then guys are like, okay, sounds good. And they'll buy you dinner. I'll take you on trips because she's hot. You know what I mean? She's got a vagina and some squishy boobs. And they'll fucking surrender their life for her.
Dude, I'm actually jealous of those kinds of guys. And the reason why I say that is because they just haven't been through the ringer yet. They haven't gotten their nuts squeezed yet. They haven't had their fucking pain yet. They'll learn. And then usually it sucks for those types of dudes because they learn that kind of lesson in their older age, like in their fucking 50s and shit.
Yeah. The cost is higher. The stakes are higher.
Stakes are higher. Mm-hmm. And it's like, bro, you want to learn these things now, man. And then I guess like there's some kind of a karmic debt that people need to pay. Apparently, there's just like there's some amount of pain you just need to go through in your damn life for you to like be like, all right, I've had enough, time to change. Mm-hmm. Like there's you could tell your friends about these kinds of things all day long. Hey man, let's go out and let's go do this, do that. They just haven't had enough pain in their life to like do the right thing. You can tell your buddy, hey man, this chick isn't right for you. Hey man, she's like, you're like putting too much on her. You're like, don't give it too much right now. What are you doing? Are you investing so much right now? What's wrong with you? Right? It's just they haven't learned. They need enough pain and enough lesson for them to go, oh, they were right. It's just they need the fucking pain because the pain when you've experienced a lot of pain, that's when you're open. That's when you're open to the fucking message. Okay, that's when you're in a conscious, non-resistant state. That's when you go, fuck the ego, fuck my ego. All right, what's the lesson here? What am I to learn? What is this doing for me? And then that's when you go, all right, shit, okay, I shouldn't do that. And then next thing you know, you learn and then you move differently. Guess what? There's people out there like my mentor who say these things, and I'm like, oh, and then I just apply it. There's some people that they're not gonna need the pain. They're just gonna apply it right away. It's like with business. Some people in business, like they need to have a lot of drama and pain and like a lot of nonsense for them to be successful. And then there's some people that have like good parents or whatever, that have a good upbringing, and they're just like, oh, I just made some money. Oh, whatever, just made some money. Oh, what are you talking about? Oh, all this drama and like people screwing you over. No, just made some money. And there's some that are just like that. And I'm like, whoa, damn, I want to be just like that. I don't want to have to deal with bullshit. So whatever. That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like, yeah, there's just some pain you're gonna have to fucking go through. And like you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to like people that want to be perfect, they want to present perfection. It's like present realness, connect with people. You know, me knocking the fucking camera off my fucking computer, that's real. That's some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to see like fucking like I'm a hot mess. I got my shit together, but I'm a hot mess. You know, so like that's the thing. And you just gotta move like that, man. You gotta just put it all out there. They gotta see it, and they gotta see the realness. You know, they gotta see the fucking like. They gotta see that you're a real person that can do extraordinary shit. You know, because otherwise you're just the guy that can do extraordinary shit, and they can't connect with you. It's like a celebrity. Oh, that's just the celebrity guy. He does the thing. Like you don't give a fuck, right? Whereas like you're a human being, you're like, oh, that's my brother, and he can do like this. He can do this shit. It's like, whoa, that's different. You value that more, you know. So I think of it like that. You know, be somebody that, you know, you again bring back to what you were saying. You know, you don't need anything else. You're real. You put that out there. You're potent. You know, you don't need a woman to fill your cup. Okay, a lot of dudes they're just handing the fucking credit card over because the pussy's too good. You know, so. Yeah, man.
That's facts, bro. Dude, I was thinking about that and like, damn, dude, like, and again, because it's no different than a man. Like, a woman needs to ask, what is this man? What's the value of this man? And not in like a douchey way, like, oh, what's the value? And that's not what I'm saying, like this overcalculated logical shit. But when you really look at it, dudes be settling for chicks that are like, not what does she offer, bro? You know what I mean? Like, maybe maybe this chick brings a lot of drama and chaos into your life. Maybe she's you know, where's she at financially? What is she working on? What is she growing towards? How does she view you? Does she push you up as who you are? Now look, we all go through different things in life and but you got to look at the whole picture of a person and their intent of where they're going and how they view you versus, oh, she just got a fucking wet hole and soft fucking titties, you know what I mean? And that's where dudes stop, bro. And the next thing you know, they're like married to a chick like that, having a kid with a chick like that, and the bitch is going crazy, and they're like, fucking. That's when they hit you up, bro. I don't know, man. It's been a hard ride, dude. We should get together, grab a beer. Nah, homie. You know what I mean? Like, where you been, dog? Like,
yeah,
you got to learn those lessons, man. And like we said, the stakes are higher at that point.
Yeah.
So, but that's what makes it like on your fucking purpose, on your mission, build your empire. And you screen. And look, what it also does is remember, a woman is screening you always, just inherently. They're always either pedestalizing you or screening you. And so then what that does is it flips the narrative. Like, no. I'm screening you because, again, I'm not a 10 out of 10. I'm a 20 out of 10. I'm on my shit. I'm building an empire. I got a purpose, a mission. I work on myself. And so it changes the dynamic and they can feel it. You're like, nah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you should come over and hang out. Nah, I'm good. They're going to want you more, you know. Let them know you got things going on.
Yeah. Like there's no in between either. Like you're either the fucking dude that's like baller where you're the man, or you're somebody they wouldn't want to be with. There is no like in between. Like dudes want to be in the friend zone, which is I find strange. Like I've never been the dude that wanted to be like friends, like in a friend zone. So I was like, it was weird for me growing up because I was never in the friend zone, but I was like, never like the coolest dude either. Like I wasn't like getting laid at fucking 15 like that, right? So for me, I had to learn this kind of skill. I had to learn to be like, be the kind of man where are you someone that's, you know, they're screening to see if you're potential, or are you someone they're screening to see if you're just going to be like another dude like that they're going to ignore, right? So for me, I had to learn that. I had to learn how to be that fucking guy where it's like, if you're going to screen me, it's going to be for that. And it's not even you're going to screen me. It's going to be I'm going to screen you. It's not even. I'm not like the you can't fall for this like the narrative, which is like, oh, I'm a hot chick, everybody's trying to fuck me, and like all my friends want to fuck, and blah blah blah. Oh,
Right.
and I get to pick. You want to switch the buyer seller dynamic. You want to switch it from okay, no. We're not doing this your way. We're gonna do this my way. It's not gonna be.
That's
It's not gonna
right.
be you getting to like
Yes.
look at me and objectify me. And do I bring this and this and this? Am I making money and this and this? No, you're not objectifying me like that. Matter of fact, we're gonna play this game and we're gonna swim in the deep end. Let's see what you got. What are your characters? What are your ethics? What are your values? Oh, you don't have shit. All right, cool. Peace out. I'm gonna find me a woman with some fucking values and morals. Because look, there's women out there that I'd rather
Yeah.
be with that at the end of my life when I'm fucking 60
hmm
than be with some fucking bombshell who's like, oh, Snapchat,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Fuck
No.
that, bro. Okay, and look, dude. To your point, and what we talked about earlier is that's what it means to like have a frame, right? A frame of reality is what Haas just described. Like, no, I'm not gonna like follow into the old hot girl. You know, every guy wants to fuck me because that's what we call a frame. She has a frame at that point. That's like her sense of reality. But if you think about it, if you deconstruct it, what the fuck is that, bro? Like, is that a good frame? Is that a good frame for you to follow? But y'all motherfuckers get lost. Like, oh, it's so hot. You know, no, dude, you break that, right? And go, no. What is my frame? This is my reality. These are the things I've worked on or am working on or where I'm going, the value, the potential I have. And I'm looking to partner with someone who understands that about themselves, because that's valuable, and also my journey. And then we can work on that together. That's powerful. But
And dude,
that ain't it. People just dudes have no frame. They see the hot chick with this weak ass, I'm the hot chick frame, and they just give up right away and they chase her around and they get fucked over.
and the most powerful way to impose that kind of a frame, you know, like dudes in caveman days would get physical. I'm not saying do that. Like dudes still get physical with women, which is I find retarded. Like don't ever do that.
No.
The only way to impose a frame that powerful is your power to fucking walk away. Like just leave it all on the table and just walk the fuck away. You know, it's like the art of the deal. You know, love him, hate him. I love that. I like that message. It's like you want to come to the deal with the ability to walk away from it. Same thing in a relationship. Same thing when you're dealing with a woman. You want to come to the table with going, you know what, this is great, but whatever. I'm not attached to this. Fuck this. Done. If there's something about it that's like that goes against what you believe and who you are, be willing to walk away. Don't ever sell out. As soon as like it's happening, like a lot of these dudes that fall into the frame of these women, is they're selling out. They're selling themselves out. They're not doing the girl a favor. Like the girl is losing. You're not helping her by selling yourself out like that. She's doing that as a shit test. She's doing that to see like, or are you the man? Are you going to be the guy? Oh, look, this is my thing. This is my trap. Are you going to fall into it? You know, oh, you're not a guy that falls into it. Okay, I like that. You know, so if you're a dude, you fall into that shit, and it's not like they're doing it because they're evil. No, they have to do that. Like you need to understand, they're not bad people. Like women aren't bad. They need to do that. They need to do that because they can only have like one kid per term. You know, it's not like us. We can go and bang bitches and done. She can only have one baby per term. So she needs to know that, okay, this is the guy that is going to be the fucking man in my life, who's going to protect, provide, and all that stuff, right? So she needs to do that. Understand the biological thing. It's not because like, oh, she's evil. No, she needs to do that. Okay,
it's primal.
So, yeah, it's very so it's natural nature. Don't get angry about that. Be happy that way. Like that's the kind of person you want. A person that will shit you like that because you know they're gonna protect your children. Like that's a woman that's gonna love your children. You know, so be happy over that. Yeah. So if you ever have a kid with a girl like that, she's gonna love that kid.
Yeah.
You know. So I actually like that. I actually like a woman that throws a little shit at me because I'm like, okay, you're somebody that gives a fuck.
Yeah, and it's just better to realize that is what's going to happen, and when it is taking place, that's what's going on, and it's usually a test that you need to like be stronger as a man. She's like, you're showing some kind of like weakening, right? Whether it's like you're not trusting yourself, you're not believing in yourself that you can be the man. They'll help you like become the man and show you that. Not always, right? Sometimes they're stuck in their own traumas and chaos and shit like that. but oftentimes it can be that it's a strong woman who's reminding you like, yo, you fucking got this. But yeah, it's fucking very real, dude, and takes place almost continuously because they're literally transitioning from pedestalizing you, and into testing you. It's one of the two that's going on.
Yes.
And so, as a
And
man, that's why you said it's important. You have to be willing to walk away. Another word for it is come from abundance. Always, like you're always in abundance. Like no matter what, that's business as well. When I talk about marketing, like that's a big marketing thing. Is you're always coming from a place of abundance.
yeah, it's like, think of it like this, right? This is I heard this in Twitter. Funny enough, it was like a porn star was talking about it. So it's talking about like how to make a girl come. So this is interesting. This is for people that stuck around for the hour long of this crazy episode with a lot of errors and messes. This is the reward you're gonna get. I'm gonna teach you how to make a woman come. So imagine, so imagine you're like, what is he talking about? So.
Yes.
The way you make a woman come is like, you picture this, right? And the way you frame should be like this, right? Imagine you're a gladiator. Imagine you're a conqueror. Imagine you're like a Roman emperor, and you go off into the unknown lands and you conquer lands. You put blades to other men's bellies, and you take you take the freaking land and you take their people, whatever, right? I was gonna say the wrong words. Then you come back, right? You come back to your woman, and you're gonna sleep with her. You're gonna have sex with her. Are you gonna have gentle sex with her? Are you gonna have like missionary lovey sex with her after you've just conquered land? After you just came back and like took over a whole country and like put like other men into like their graves? How are you gonna have sex with your woman then? Right? It's this energy, this aggressive energy that's loving, it's aggressive. It's loving and it's aggressive. Right? It's like potency. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. That's how you make her come.
That's interesting. I mean, yeah, there's a few different ways. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let her know let her feel that you're the man. That's just always energetically good, right? Is you always like, she's feeling that you're the man. This is the guy. This is my guy. And this, and you're like, this is my girl. I got you. Let's go. When she feels that, it allows her to relax and feel safe. And then she can like move into you and relax.
By the way, this is advice from professional people that have sex for profession. This is from a porn star. This is what he's saying. So go try it. Try it at your own risk. Just like as you're like in it, you're just like thinking, yes, conquering lands. As you're just like,
okay, I'm gonna throw this back at you though. I'll give you a note. Is one of the problems with porn is it's not, in my opinion, and others, is it also creates false imagery of how sex should be.
Yeah.
Like it's always this very like, I don't even know. Like it's like, I don't say toxic, whatever. It's just like, I don't know. It's still fake. It's still fake, dude. It's still fake.
Yeah.
I mean, they're real too, but it's also got touches of fakeness in it.
Yeah, dude. It's not real because okay, I totally fell for that trap. Like where like, you watch too much porn, you think like sex is like that. So I remember like the first few times I was like trying to like, I was so in my head. I'm like, oh, I got to do it like they do it in pornos or whatever, right? I remember like I was just like, trying to replicate porn that I've seen. I'm like, what am I doing? But it wasn't until like the later half where it was like it was just like I was just tired. I'm like tired. And I'm just like going with it. It was like, fuck the bullshit. I'm just gonna do what I want to do. It's just like my show kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's when it was like more natural and more like in the moment. It's like everything is like the same. It's like don't be in your head, be in the moment.
I was just gonna say the moment will be your teacher. The moment will be your teacher.
Yeah. And I remember like I would have conversations with like a girl, and like I would ask him like, so like do like girls like that like aggressive shit or like, and I remember I would ask and I make sure I would ask the people that seemed like they're like kind of like wild and like even the most wild girl, like the one that's like out here like smashing dudes. You ask her, like I was asking one of those girls, she's like, no, I don't really like that. I actually like it if it's like natural and if it gets to that aggressive level, but it's like naturally getting there, not like something that's like forced. It's like it naturally arises to that point. That's when she likes it. But other than that, it's like, no, just don't be in your head and just like go with the flow.
Folks, there you have it. some
Mhm.
relationship and sex advice from Haas and Troy.
It was a
We're-
messy episode, but we got through it.
yeah, man. We appreciate you all. Haas, thanks, my man. It's time to hit the gym. I gotta go work
Yeah.
out. So, Haas, what's your Instagram?
My Instagram is coach_Haas himself. If you want advice on how to be more attractive as a man without relying on money, looks, status, blah blah blah, all that stuff. If you're not Andrew Tate with the Bugatti, but you still want to get bitches that Andrew Tate gets, hit me up. That's how you do it. All right.
There it is. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace out.